Former Prime Minister, as you'd know by now, Malcolm Turnbull, has taken a swipe at Donald Trump in an essay for the Foreign Affairs, calling for former US President volatile, narcissistic and a gaslighter. Now, they were both in office together for a time. And I'd love to bring in Link, my national security / defence / expert on many things. What are your thoughts on this? You weren't particularly pleased with his comments.
No, I think it was rather unseemly for a former Prime Minister to attack the former President of the United States and who is likely and is the front runner to be the next President of the United States, especially when Donald Trump did a great deal for the national security and benefit of Australia. And we were also aware that when Turnbull unseated Tony Abbott was the one who had agreements with Japan to have their submarines, the most advanced non-nuclear submarines in the world, which we would be operating today had Malcolm Turnbull not cancelled them and gone with a French option that was only on paper and that was an absolute disaster and waste of money. So I just thought it just didn't sit right with me and anybody else.
Yeah, it caused a lot of clapback, I guess, here as well. A lot of people were not impressed, even if they weren't particularly fond of Trump.
No.
You're right, the actual act in of itself just felt quite bizarre.
Right.
Talk to me about the ADF and recruits and opening it up to other people. I spoke about this in detail at the top of the show. If you missed that, make sure you check it out on our YouTube channel. What are your thoughts on what they're trying to do now?
Well, I think it's an admission of failure and it's a result of weak and soft leadership, really, to try and get mercenaries or, Kiwis to join the Australian Defence Force when, if they're not serving their own country, why would they want to come and serve ours? And is their heart going to be in it? When,
no, exactly.
We need to fix the root cause of the issues that are stopping people joining now, and also fix the root cause of why a lot are leaving.
And that's exactly right, because all it is, and I think you've used this before, a Band-Aid on a broken leg or a Band-Aid on a bullet wound or something to that effect. It's a similar meaning. But there's no point in bringing in a whole swathe of new people only for them to discover how completely screwed up the organisation is. And the second their return of service is over, see you later. And what a waste of money, waste of resources, waste of everything. And then we're still completely screwed when it comes to the ability to defend this nation.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's the government, and particularly the Minister for Defence, Richard Marles, and the Prime Minister, Anthony Albanese, have failed. Their weak leadership is on display for everyone to see, and it's affecting the security of our nation. And we heard that today from Sir Peter Cosgrove. I was at the 82nd anniversary of the defence of Sydney, and he spoke about it indeed himself today, where he said we are in dire crisis in the Australian Defence Force. We're in the most dangerous circumstances for 80 years since the defence of Sydney, and yet we have not got a solution by this government to fix the ADF.
Just feels like it's such a too hard basket, and not necessarily even just for the current Labor government, but let's be honest, coalition governments have failed in this space as well. We just seem to think it's such a far-off prospect that we can just have big plans for decades down the track and never actually get anything done, never build anything, never create something.
No, that's right.
And that will haunt us every day of the week.
Well, the number one job of any government is to secure our country and secure our people. Then they're not doing it. They're not addressing it whatsoever.
No, it's really disappointing. But, hey, what else is new? Lincoln, thank you so much. Brilliant. Thanks. As always, really appreciate your time.
Thanks, Erin.